Hello, my name is Deane Bloem, and welcome to another episode of Elephant Dive. Today, I'm going to be touching on a topic that I have spoken about before, more particularly in my very first Elephant Dive episode, which was originally on Instagram as an IGTV series. Today, I'm going to be touching on forgiveness and more particularly letting go. I'm going to be speaking about how the past week my personal experience and me actually going through a process of letting go of something that I didn't know was holding me back, as well as things that I took away from the current growth that I'm experiencing. So to start off, this week I was like, I'm gonna do amazing, it's gonna be an amazing week, and I was just really positive. However, I ended up going to a casting. So for those that don't know, I am a model as well as an actor. So yeah, it was my first casting in a few months, but I've been to a few, so it's not really a fish out of water experience for me anymore. However, it was a very different casting agency. So for those that have been to different castings, you would know that different casting agencies just operate differently. They just have a different process. Some would like to get to know you more before you do complete the casting. Others, it's just ID and you continue. So yeah, I ended up going, and I wasn't too nervous because I was early and I was very chilled about the entire thing. However, it was just only when we walked into the place where we were going to do the casting that, I don't know, everything just went sideways. We were briefed, and then I realized, wow, okay, because I was the first one there, I have to go first. And it's just like, wow, okay. So I'm really not used to going first. I'm usually I'm just one of those people, I feel like it's really awkward to go first. And yeah, I ended up missing my mark. So I ended up missing my mark, and twice. Yes, I missed my mark. I missed my mark twice. So the casting director was just like to the other people that were there, and it's like, please just listen to the instructions. And I was like, okay. So I ended up doing the casting, getting it over with, and then it was just, when I was done, it was just that confidence knock of me just, because I'm so used to facing the camera, especially when acting. So, well, not facing the camera, but like, I'll just make sure that you can see my face. So when we were given the blocking with the directions and everything, I ended up blocking in such a way, or standing in such a way rather, that I ended up, just the camera being able to see me. But the director wanted me to face my back towards the camera, and I was just like, okay. So yeah, it was very awkward for me. Like I said, I haven't done any of these in months, and also castings other bits. But yeah, after that happened, I just ended up bullying myself. Like now speaking about it, it's like it's not a big deal. Okay, cool, you missed the mark. But in that moment, I was just like, I ended up saying things to myself like, how could you be so stupid? Like, you had one job. You had one job and you messed it up. You had one job. You just had to do that. And yeah, I ended up beating myself up over that because, yeah, I don't know. It was just, yeah, I just ended up really bullying myself. As I said, now speaking about it, it's like, it wasn't that big of a deal. It wasn't that big of a deal. And I know as people, we do that a lot. We end up bullying ourselves, and we end up just going through processes where we end up catastrophizing, and we just make a problem as much larger than it actually is. And we end up being such bullies to ourselves and putting ourselves down. Whereas, we don't really see that coming from other people. And another thing that I also realize is how important letting go is, because I just had a moment when I was meditating in the week during this whole process of me bullying myself, because it wasn't only on the day of the casting, it was the day after, and the day after that, it was just, I kept looking for something to make myself small, I guess, and I don't know why. And I thought I didn't know why, rather, until I had that moment where it was like a aha moment. And I ended up realizing that there's a lot that I've been holding on to. And just being able to step away from it, being able to be honest with my emotions, like, yes, that hurt me. Yes, I was hurt during that moment. Yes, I was hurt by this person. Yes, this has happened. So with me, there was a lot that was done to me that wasn't my fault, that I felt like it was my fault because I put myself in that situation. And I have, from personal experience, seen how a lot of people do that. We create a lot of self-blame. And because of that, we hold on to a lot of things. Like, yes, this person hurt me because... And we're not honest with ourselves, firstly. So even though we might have some anger towards someone for hurting us, the anger comes more... It's more of a thing targeted back to us again, because we're angry that we got ourselves into that situation, even though it wasn't our fault. And a lesson that I just ended up learning from that is, although it's hard to deal with our emotions, although it's hard to be honest with ourselves, there is so much benefit that can just come from letting go, just come from just releasing and understanding that it's not always in our control. Things are always not going to go our way. And yes, sometimes we expect it to go better and it just doesn't go better. Sometimes life is just going to life. Sometimes life is just going to life and we just need to move on. We just need to move on because, yeah, as soon as we move on, the happier we're able to become. We get to have a moment of calm, because there's so much calm that just comes from letting go. Because as soon as we're able to forgive other people for hurting us, we get to forgive ourselves for feeling like we were the problem, for feeling like we didn't do well. Because as we love ourselves more, we end up loving people more. And as we end up loving people more, even those that hurt us, we end up loving ourselves more. And yeah, there was just a lot that I was able to take from this week, and that I hope some of you can take from this. So to end off, all I need to say is, if you've been like me in my head bullying yourself for most of this week, all that I just need to say is that you're doing a great job. You are doing the best that you can, and even if you messed up, it's okay. It's literally not the end of the world. There's always going to be another try. So I do hope that that motivates you, and that you also end up going through some self-evaluation to a point where you can let go of things that haven't been adding on to you. Yeah, and if you like this video, please do like and subscribe to the channel. There will be more. I post a new video every Tuesday and Thursday. So yeah, you'll be seeing more of me, and put on notification bells so that you don't miss any new content. And go follow me on Instagram. Yes, at the Elephant Dive. Yeah. That's all from me. I hope you have an amazing weekend. And whenever you're watching this amazing week, I'm sending you a lot of love and light.